Lunch Money Lambert, Jeff Malott. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Yeah. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation, where we talk about fishing and competition. It's your boy Ox Pippin, aka Ox Fishing. Don't come over here tripping. Hey, hope you enjoy the show. Jeff Malott, Lunch Money Lambert, Lego. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Kayak Bass Nation. Hey, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. Welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation.
All right, what's up, everybody? Like the song says, welcome to the Kayak Bass Nation. What's up, Ryan? How you doing, man?
We're here.
We here. Ryan on the road again, on location in somewhere outside of some place. Jasper, Georgia.
Yeah,
man, we got a big show tonight. It's tourney management software night, basically. We got Dwayne from Tourneyx making up for lost time because we had to cut him short when we had the John from Bass on here. We went long that night, so we got Dwayne, so we decided to make a night of it and bring Michael Christopher in from Iangler too. So it's going to be a good time tonight, man. What do you think?
All the info.
I'm sure they both got some good info for us. I know I've kind of picked up on a few things Dwayne's tweaked on Tourneyx over the last month or so. So I'm sure he's got a whole list of stuff he's going to share with us, and then anxious to hear what Michael has going on. We'll talk to him in a little bit as well.
There's one feature that Dwayne's going to talk about that young Drew Gregory is very excited about, and I'll point that out when we get there, but he texted me about it earlier. Can't wait for you guys to hear about this. That's
cool, man. Yeah, Bob Baylor said Fishing Chaos as well. Not tonight. We've had the Chaos guys on before. We may have them on in off-season sometime, but not tonight.
It's really chaotic. We sent them a text. We're waiting on the text to go through. Takes a minute.
Yeah, takes a while. Drains your phone battery while you're waiting to go. Yeah, but we always talk about the week that was, man. I guess we could start with the latest news first. The Open. Is that
the Open?
Am I saying the right name? The Open? Is that what it's called?
The only one, man. The Open.
All right. What do you know about that?
Nothing. I saw it on Blake Knight's story this morning when I woke up, and I was like, the Open, and then I see the fine print. It's like $500 entry fee, Dale Hollow, which is kind of Tennessee-ish, local-ish here. So I text Steve-O, and I was like, hey, man, you hear about this Open? Because usually if things are happening in Tennessee, Steve-O's privy to it, generally speaking, beforehand. And he's like, yeah, that's on the same weekend as Tennessee Bass Nation and the All-American on Kentucky Lake. And I'm like, that's unfortunate planning there. Tennessee Bass Nation just hosted that event that had, 90-something, 93 anglers, 97 anglers up there on Del Hollow. Like, if you were planning a big tournament up there, that would be a good group to maybe coordinate with a little bit, because obviously Steve can pull 100 people to a tournament. So, hindsight's 20/20.
Right. I think that's Greg Nosar from the KBBT KFL group doing that, and those guys kind of play by their own rules, man. They just kind of do their thing, and who knows how it'll go. I don't know. I didn't know anything about it until I saw that post, and I literally, no joke, I thought it was an announcement for a golf tournament first. So I had to look into it.
It's kind of like that.
But hey, big money. 500.
It's big money buy-in. I mean, yeah. I'll be interested to see how many people are ponying up $500 to jump in there on Del Hollow. So
yeah. And when was it? Is it coming like soon?
March, I think. I'm pretty sure it's. I want to say March. It's the same weekend as the All-American on Kentucky Lake, which the All-American, I think, will pull some local guys from the Tennessee, Kentucky area. Jay Wallen's going to fish it. It's Kentucky Lake. But I think the All-American kind of has its own following from the Midwest, so it'll be a lot of those guys traveling over. I don't think that's necessarily going to hurt too much of local tournament participation, but we'll see.
Yeah, and the All-Americans, speaking of, there's rumors of them coming with their own big money buy-in. I haven't heard any details yet. So
Yeah, apparently, you let the cat out of the bag, there's going to be other cats running around.
I heard rumors of $1,000 buy-ins. Yeah, it's going to be anxious to see which 3 people win that one. I don't know.
$1,000, man.
No,
Winner take all, or are they going to divide it up?
I don't know. We need to have Josh and Tyler on here when they do.
I do want to hear real details on that one for sure.
Yeah, because that could be legit. I know that Josh and Tyler have some major sponsor support in the Midwest that's going to follow them wherever they take that. So, it could be huge. We'll see. But we'll try to get them on.
I'm a fan of the bigger money buy-in stuff for sure.
Yeah. What else happened this week? Anything?
Well, a freaking tornado ripped through this weekend, ripped
Terrible.
through Kentucky Lake and Reelfoot, home of the KBBT championship. Reelfoot Lake was decimated. But our good friend Jay Wallen, we're going to have more details on this as it evolves. Right now, Jay has let us know that he's pushing the gas pedal on a benefit charity tournament to help out the Kentucky Lake communities that were affected by this. A lot of us that have been fishing these national events, whether it's the KBF National Championship or the original Hobie Opens that were hosted on Kentucky Lake, Marshall County, we've all spent a lot of time up there in the restaurants and the tackle shops. We want to kind of support them and give back and help out in this, honestly, a tragedy. If you've seen the pictures up there, it just leveled everything. So
yeah, terrible.
Once we get more details, we'll put that out. I know you guys are going to support it because that's what you do. So, Jay, let us know when you're ready to come on, and we'll light the match here, bud.
Yeah, man. And shout out to anybody and everybody that I know from Kayak Bass Nation that I got a bunch of texts asking if I was all right because it hit Arkansas too, but it hit more northeast Arkansas. Kind of missed us over on this side. We got some bad weather, but no tornadoes in the northwest corner. But thanks for looking in, and prayers up to all those people in northeast Arkansas, Kentucky, and Tennessee over there. Terrible stuff. I'm anxious to see what Jay pulls off. We'll of course throw the power of the nation behind it, support whatever he does there. And then I wanted to say something about the Kayak Fishing Network app that we've been working on. A few people over there kind of messing with the website, but I know that people wanted the app to really take this thing to the next level to where people make it more user-friendly and accessible on your phones and stuff. So the app has been submitted to the Google Play Store. We're just waiting on final approval. You'll be able to download it there. And then waiting on a few obscure numbers to get it into the Apple and the iTunes store or whatever they call it over there in Apple land because I'm a Droid guy. So, KFN app coming soon. And I've got the test app on my phone. It works really good, so I think you guys are going to like it.
How did you get it up so fast? I thought it took months to program apps.
Well, it takes me a while to get it up, but I got it up, and we're all good now. Right.
But what about the app?
Oh, yeah. No, I've been working on it for a while, and, it's not really having to program it because the website, you can use a platform to kind of translate the website into an app, if that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, it's going to be great. It's going to be fun, so I appreciate everybody that supported it so far. And then what else we got? A couple sponsor announcements maybe? Let's see here. Steve-O reached out and said, make sure we mention that Dugout Bait and Tackle, dugoutfishing.com, has the new DT8s in stock. So there you go. $7.49 a piece.
Crankbait kids out there.
All the crankbait kids. I know Craig Dye's probably got 100,000 of these already, the crankbait guy. So yeah, dugoutbaitandtackle.com or dugoutfishing.com. Dugout Bait and Tackle out of Marietta, Georgia. We always appreciate them. And of course, Revo sunglasses, best lenses on earth, and always, as always, Western Sun Vodka. Are you drinking any Western Sun tonight, Ryan?
I am.
All right.
The good old classic. The good old classic with a little splash of Sprite.
Yeah, we appreciate all the sponsors, man. It's been a great year with them. A lot of support. There's other people that have reached out for 2022, so who knows what could be coming down the pipe for 22. But it's been a fun ride, man. It's been a fun ride.
I love it.
Yeah. What do you say? You want to get Dwayne in here? I know he's
anxious.
Let's
get him in here.
I see him in the green room there, just anxious, or he was yawning. I'm not sure which was which.
Both, probably both.
Yeah.
Anxiously yawning.
Little both.
All right. What's up, Dwayne?
Hey guys, how are y'all doing?
Good, man. How you doing tonight?
I'm good. Good.
Yeah, I know you got a list. We felt bad having to cut you off that night. We had John and yourself on talking about bass. We wanted to do both, but golly, we ran over the hour with all the questions from the crowd and the questions Ryan and I had. So appreciate you coming back tonight, man.
That's cool. Thanks for having me.
Yeah.
Yep. So, yes, shout out to Western Sun.
There you go. That's how you do it.
Also, just so to reiterate what you mentioned a minute ago, yeah, Jay Wallen called me this morning, and he hit me up, just said, "Hey man, can we do a little something on Tourneyx?" He said we'd love to do something for a charity event for for all the tornado victims and what have you. And absolutely, we're 100% on board. So whatever he needs, we're here to help. And also threw out if anyone else out there wants to run tournaments for someone or some, whatever the need is, just give me a shout. We'll definitely work it out. So
appreciate that, man. I know you've always done that over the years. Always supported the charity tournaments. So good stuff, man. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
We're getting dogged in the comments, Ryan.
Jesse Halverson ain't got no 65-inch screen. Don't listen to him unless he's got us pulled up at Buffalo Wild Wings or something. Don't lie to me, Jesse.
Oh man. Well, Dwayne, let's get started, man.
Let's go.
Let us know what you got coming. That's out now, and what you got coming down the pipe. Just start with what's out now.
Yeah, there's quite a few small features that we've been working on. I probably got a list of them here. I'm not going to go over every one of them, but some of the ones that the anglers, I feel like the anglers need and been asking for. Being an angler myself, I could see where a lot of these things, whether we missed them or just whatever happened in the beginning when we started building this thing, especially like being able to get into contact with the directors, while you're on the water, what have you. And you can do it through the website, but you couldn't do it through the app. So we've taken an approach to add some of that information in there. Now you can go in and on the app, I got it open right now. When you go to the app and you click on the big red X at the bottom of the home screen, you'll be able to pick a tournament that you're either in already or upcoming tournament that you're registered for, and click that that tournament name. It'll actually show you everything you need to know: start time, end time, lines out of the water time, release ID number, a time, director email, director phone number, description about it, tournament fees, everything. So we've got everything listed now. So there shouldn't be any questions like, who's my director? Well, we just need to start teaching everyone that, hey, it's right there in front of you. Just grab it and go. So just one of those shortcuts that we wanted to add. Another one that we just kind of came to mind the other day. Everybody was talking about this lines out of the water thing. That's actually on the website for the directors. It was a needed thing, because I think the more we go into these tournaments, people are like, hey, we want to start time, lines out of the water time, end time, blah, 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 all these things. Well, my idea was, let's do a lines out of the water to not necessarily stop the angler from submitting the fish, but to help the director to see if the fish was submitted or taken after the time that he's designated as being the lines out of the water time. So we did that. So now when you go in and you're judging the fish, the director's judging the fish, what have you, and you have a 3:00.001 or whatever the heck, we've actually got down to the second. So that's up to you. Whatever the director wants to set it for, he can set it for that. He or she can set it for that. So anything past that time, if that picture is taken past that time, it's going to show an asterisk, and it's going to let you know, hey, you need to check this fish. So we didn't want to disqualify anything. We didn't want to stop any fish from being submitted. We just wanted to be able to, make the directors aware that, hey, it's there, and you need to take care of it. So it's kind of cool. Identifiers. I know you guys you fished it. If you use Tourneyx, you're like, what damn identifier do I use? On that page, it'll be one at the top, one in the middle, one on the side, whatever. And yes, it's been a fiasco. And we got a solution for that now. So the director can choose from either uploading an image, creating his own ID number, or have one of ours generated as it is now. So, and it will be the only identifier right dead center of the screen. So there's no confusion anymore. So I know that's been a big one.
That.
Yeah, I got DQ'd last year after using Tourneyx for all these years for putting that number.
The unique identifier. We had some people do that
Yeah.
in one of our tournaments. Instead of using our identifier, they used the unique identifier.
Yeah, but rookie mistake.
Yeah, it's really education and, you know, reading the rules and knowing what the director's, you know, trying to convey, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway. AJ, this is specifically for AJ. He had called me and asked me about a couple of
Freaking
things that he
AJ.
wanted. Do what?
I know.
I said freaking AJ. No,
No, it's fine.
Kid has nothing but trouble.
But, you know, he called me up and he says, hey, man, you know, in these multi-day events, you know, when all the fish are coming in, they're like all bunched up together. Well, we decided, hey, let's split them apart. So now we each have your days, 1, 2, 3 days. All fish will now come in independently, and you can search by angler, find him. And this is all director side, guys. This has nothing to do really with angler side. But you know, that leads me to a kind of a little segment that I think that a lot of times some of the anglers don't realize what the directors have to go through, you know, what they're doing out there or what the judges are doing out there. And, you know, they're constantly, I mean, when you have 500, 600, 700 fish a day or, you know, 1,300, 1,400 in a weekend, your eyes get crossed. And so we want to try to make it easier on the directors to, you know, to do their thing, you know. So let's see what else we got here. Well, let's go to the
Some of
drill
them's
thing.
eyes start out crossed. I saw Tim Arthur in the comments earlier.
I got a few questions for you, Dwayne, that I'd like,
Yeah, man.
a few things I'd like to see on there. Ooh. You know, I've always got opinions on things. On the lines out time,
Yeah.
it would be awesome if a countdown timer prompted on the screen just to make anglers nervous. Like if they had 5,
man, that
you know what I
would,
mean?
wouldn't it?
Like a red alert, 3 minutes left, and it's counting down to the 1 second on the submission screen. Which I know that's probably a pain in the butt, but that'd be a way to add some drama in the kayak for the angler. Which maybe.
Yeah, we could make it pop up on their app. Just say, hey, you've got this much to, you know.
Yeah, that'd be sick.
Yeah, it'd be kind of cool.
And then what about years ago? We talked about this. I know changing over to where you collect the fees from anglers on the front end. Has that ever been considered as opposed to the tournament directors paying it on the back end?
It has. And it's not as easy as you think. There's a couple of ways of doing it, but I wanted to keep it in PayPal and do a split payment feature is what I wanted to do. We just haven't gotten that point yet. And to be honest with you, I've spoke to directors and they kind of like it the way it is because there's a couple, and here's the reason. The versatility of what we have now is that it's basically a multiplier. If you've got 10 anglers, it's $50, right? If you got 100 anglers, it's $500. I'm just saying it's a quick and easy way of knowing what it's going to cost to run the tournament. But if a director wanted to go out and get a sponsor to pay for this, to pay for these tournaments, then the money can roll right back into the angler payout, the payouts for the anglers. And so if you did it where you pulled it out of the angler's payments, then it would be kind of hard to put it back in. And if you got a sponsor that want to pay for them, is what I'm trying to say. He would have to like just divvy up some money. Then that money could be done into the payouts, I guess. But I'm getting more people that would rather leave it like it is than have it where it goes the other way, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've been out the game for a few years, Dwayne, so I don't know what the popular opinion is on the tournament director side.
I understand. Yeah. But on my end, it would be easier, so I wouldn't have to worry about the invoices and all that.
Right.
But hey, I like calling people and saying, hey, you know, shake the trees a little bit and say.
Yeah, there's been a few hashtags about I stand with Tourneyx over people not paying over the years. So
and I appreciate that.
I was trying to see what's up, see if there's a way to cut that off. But if the directors want it, the directors want it. I get that.
Yeah, we may look into something where we can have it where you can click a button and choose which way you want it to go. So I got a couple of more features I got to get fixed in the next month or two, and then I can start back up and going, okay, now which one do I really want to pick and choose? So we're getting to that point. You know, it's taken 6 years to get there, but You know, the site runs well. The site, knock on wood, the site's running well. Everything's kind of, you know, moving right along. Now it's time I can just kind of back up and go, okay, now where do we need to highlight these points and fix and make things easier for directors, make things easier for anglers. So that's kind of what we're hitting on now.
Katie Bacca had a great question. You want to throw that one up, Jeff?
Yeah. Any plans to differentiate online versus in person on the stats?
That's going to be tough to do, Katie, just because we'd have to figure out which is which. And then, it'd have to be a button that we checked.
The live ones are the real tournaments.
Yeah, can you just put an asterisk by the guys that don't fish the honey holes in their backyards?
I know.
So they're not just padding their stats all the time?
Right. Well, I think more and more, to be quite honest with you, you're seeing more and more live events than you're seeing online events. I think you're seeing that. I mean,
we're slowly winning this fight, Jeff. We'll keep.
Well, I think the guys that post the screenshots of their stats
we'll keep pushing.
Are not those people. I don't see the live event guys doing that. That's what.
No, because the live event guys have got their asses kicked enough they don't need to post screenshots as his stats.
Yeah, I get that.
You lose a lot more than you win.
That's an age-old battle we have on the page, but nothing but love for you, online people. Yeah. Let's see. There's another. Oh, what about Aoy Points Integration? Is there any plans to throw that in there? Luke Arian asked that.
And that's a great question, Luke. I appreciate it. We've toyed with the idea, but there's 200 ways to skin a cat, right? And to sit down and pinpoint one or two ways to do the AOIs, I would have to say that, everybody's going to switch to this, or everybody's going to switch to that. And if I had that consensus where we could do it one way, yeah, I'd be glad to sit down and have that conversation with whoever it may be. But I can't do it 5 or 6 different ways, if that makes sense. It's hard to, we've had this discussion, but it's hard to do because everybody does it differently. And so if there was one way to do it, absolutely, love to, because it'd be great. I could show it on the website. You'd know exactly where you are in your group, your club, whatever. If we would like to do that, then we can open up for discussion. So
yeah. I know this,
Strawbridge. He just asked a good question. What's the best way for new directors to practice on the app? James, the next charity event I put on, I'll let you practice all you want to, bud. You go through and judge as many fish as you want, pal.
James, if you just get with me and let me know what you want, we can set up a demo tournament and just let you run one with several people, and then we'll scratch it at the end, man. Not a problem. Just let me know. And you probably already have, but we can go down that road again if you want to.
What about Billy's comment here? Can you send in your bass with a little smack talk so that everybody gets that message? It'd be legit, man.
Billy, we wouldn't hear much from you then, buddy. Have to write one paragraph per fish.
Yeah. No. Why WDO, Billy? We got you, son. Well, what else you got, Dwayne? Coming, like, I know these are things that are happening now. Like, I've seen the search and event tool on the events. That's cool. What's long range coming down the pipe that that is going to take a while to implement, but is definitely coming?
Man, I would love to see a way that we could. I'd love to see a way we could actually hold live events and have more interaction between, say, the public and the anglers, and a weigh-in process when the anglers were called up on stage. We could have something to where you click a button and this flies in, this I think it'd be kind of cool, and we could do that because we have all the data. It's just sitting in and trying to build something in the back end to where everybody uses the same interface. I think it'd be cool. I've thought about it for a year or so, but just hadn't got to that point yet. But I think it's coming.
I think it would be cool, and you can patent this or coin it if you want to. Like when an angler's fishing a tournament, you can go in, the public that's following along in the tournament, you can go in and click follow. So you get a notification every time this angler culls or submits a fish. They could write a comment or whatever. The angler in the tournament can't necessarily see that, but the angler could go back afterwards and see, like, who's following along, what they're commenting throughout the day. And like you said, when they're on stage or we're doing a podcast interview or whatever, you can pull up, some of those little excerpts throughout the day of the people that are kind of supporting, pushing them through.
Yeah, that would be cool. I made a note of that, by the way. I'm not going to patent,
You're welcome.
but I'd like.
You're welcome.
Yes.
5
Yes.
cents. 5 cents per comment is all I'm going to charge.
Comment.
For that.
Jeez.
Yeah. Hey, listen, buddy. This brain takes money to run. All right.
Let's go over to Drew's deal. Remember, you mentioned Drew earlier.
I did.
Drew's in the comments somewhere. I saw
Drew,
him
you
up
here?
there.
Where you at, boy?
I saw him up there.
Well, yeah, boy. Yeah. Stand up, Drew.
He's doing something with a baby, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I know. Boy's got his hands full right now.
We got a chance next year because he's going to be tied up with that baby, hopefully.
No, don't lie. Don't lie. He's going to be out there in a creek somewhere.
But no, Drew called me up, and he had an idea about, showing estimated weights. And, we know it's not all exact. The only way it's exact is if you could do, length and girth. But, of course, we're not girth.
I like it.
It's all about the girth.
But who's going to have time to measure a girth of a fish while they're measuring length and all that? Oh, yeah, right.
I usually post the girth measurements first, to be honest.
The rumor has it the catch people are working on a girth catch board.
You
Has
have
it got like a little, hey, has it got one of these?
Duke's working on that, and then you have to take a video of you girthing the fish.
Yeah,
before you release it.
Is that a word?
It's got a protractor. It's got a protractor attached or something.
All right, we got way off base. Dwayne, tell us about this. Tell us about this feature.
We wrote the program to pull it in where we could show an estimated weight, and I think it's pretty cool. I think it gives a kind of a representation of what what a bag of fish could possibly weigh, but it's all based on, as down this way and south or wherever, you're going to have bigger fish in certain times of the year, and then the further north you go, it changes throughout the year. So to keep up with that, we're just not going to be able to make those changes every day. But Drew came up with the idea. We talked about it. He sent me over a couple of tables. We took a look at them. We did get them programmed in, so I can go in and adjust them as needed or if we want to. But basically what it does, and I actually have it pulled up here. I'm looking at a tournament from Florida, and it's a statewide event. But this guy, Jack Furness, actually had 520s in the low 20s, and it was 110 inches. And the way we've done it, we were going to put it up there and just leave it as a static number, but a lot of people said no, and because it was going to be mass confusion when you see it. So we opted to, Drew, so somebody's texting me. So anyway, we opted to make a hover button. So now if you hover over the totals, it's going to give you what the estimated weight would be. For instance, this is 110 inches and estimated weight's around 32 pounds.
Is this on Tourneyx right now where I can see
it?
It
is. It's only, if you go to the main page,
all right.
I think it's on the front page down below the blue buttons. It's the second tournament from the left. That first annual PV Fish Big Bass.
Let's see here. Yeah, I got you.
Okay.
And then you hover.
Yep.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, let me throw that on the screen.
Yep.
All right. So now I'm going to hover. Boom. 3205.
Yep. So
29.
Everybody kind of mentioned that, hey, let's just do a hover, and that way it's not in the way. It's there if you want to see it. If you don't, then that's fine. So anyway, it pulls directly from a table that we have in our database, and we have a smallmouth and largemouth. Now, for 2022, just so y'all know, we have not done it yet. We're going to go back, or we're going to going forward. We're possibly going to split up smallmouth, largemouth. So when you run an event with a small and a largemouth fish in a tournament, you're going to have something to choose from. You have to choose one or the other. So we're looking at converting those over. That way we can use independent tables for other things. So
there's going to be some local boys real embarrassed when the bass boat friends go over to Tourneyx and hover over their totals after they've claimed a 30 bag out there.
All right, we're going to do some investigation right now. Let's see.
Uh-oh. Oh, no.
Huh? Yes. The Possum King.
Uh-oh.
The estimated weight for that one was 33.6 pounds.
Sweet.
We knew it was a big bag.
I honestly, I would. I mean, seeing the pictures of Mark's fish, I would conservatively say 33 pounds. Those fish were thick.
They had the
real
girth.
thick.
They had the girth.
Girth. Yeah, they definitely had the girth. That is faux show.
They were girthed.
As Duke said, Girth Brooks in the house.
That's right. That's right.
What else did we do? Oh, yeah, we added, we're doing these, we have a Tourneyx membership, that runs our stats and what have you. And now you can actually join it through the app. Before it wasn't there, but now it is. It also tells you on the app that you're verified or not. I'm going to pull up something here and I can't show you, but I'll walk through it real quick. So a lot of people were complaining that when they go to join a tournament, they didn't know how many people register for that tournament, right? They'd go, oh, I don't want to join this tournament because I don't know who's fishing it or I don't know who's on it. Well, so now we're pulling registered anglers back to the app to show you how many are on it. Some of the controversy was, we don't want to see that. I'm like, well, make up your mind because I hear it one way and I hear it the other. So we're doing it this way. Okay. So you can see who's on the event. You can click on that link and it takes you to the website to show you who's on the event, who's signed up for it anyway. So we added that too in this update. So
I know you were working on something else because we had Vinny on talking about the Power Hour, and he said you were working on something with him to try to hide the leaderboard or only see part of it. Is that coming down the pipe too?
That's one of the new ones we're going to work on is a big bass per hour. And so I've got to get with Vinny and sit down and talk a little more about, because he was going to, this was his first event. I told him to take notes, figure out what he wanted, how he wanted it to look, and we'll sit down and have a discussion. But basically, it's going to be based off time submitted. I'm sorry, time taken, not time submitted, is what we're going to do. I believe we're going to probably not show the fish, like all the fish, because he doesn't want, and it makes sense. You don't want to see like the time frames and all that, because somebody could hold a fish for 5 minutes and then submit it later, and take a picture and submit later. So he doesn't want to show, there's just things we got to discuss how we want to lay that out. But yes.
That's cool.
Burping the baby.
Man. Yeah, Dwayne, he's burping the baby.
Burping the baby. So, but yeah, we're, when we have ideas come in, we look at them real hard and decide, hey, is it feasible? Is it something that, everybody will, want to use? And we go with it. And we're, to some of the directors out there, we are changing the judging page. We're going to make some major changes on that. We started that yesterday, so we're going to try to get that implemented over the next couple of weeks to get that going for some of these new first events.
What about locations? Has there been any changes to location as far as pulling the data from where the picture was actually taken?
If you use the app, okay, that's been the big, and I can kind of clear that up. If you use the app's camera, which is when you open the app up, take photo at the very bottom right. You can take 10 photos in the app. If you use that app to take your photos, it's going to mark when the time was taken and where it was taken at.
But if you don't use the app itself, it's only going to show from where it's submitted. No.
If it does not capture the correct, if you use your device's camera and it doesn't capture sometimes it won't capture the location. Because
or if people have the location. Off. Yeah,
that's right. And when it submits it, it's going to submit it where it's going to show you where it was submitted at, not where it was taken at, because it's not capturing the right data. So it's really all depending on your location being turned on. And some people don't turn it on. Some people leave it off.
So if you were in an area that didn't have service, but you still use the app, it would still record that location data.
Yes, it should. Yes, it's supposed to. Yes.
As a TD, is there a way to see if someone took the picture through the app or took the picture on their own device?
No. There is a way on the TD side that they can see whether it was submitted from an app or submitted from the website. It actually states it in there. But not that it was taken with a device or taken with the app. I can't tell that.
So what I was thinking is if a tournament director said, hey, listen, everybody, you have to take your picture through this app. That way they have guaranteed 100% accurate GPS location data to try to cut out some of the, gray area, questionable water type stuff.
Yes. But what we run into is that people say, "Oh, I don't like the way the app takes pictures." You know what I'm saying? Because it's code that's written to create a camera app inside of our app. It's not your device's camera. It doesn't take them as fast. It will take 10 photos, and then you have to close it and go back into take 10 more. But generally, you're not going to take 10 photos of one fish. I mean, some people do, but not. I mean,
I've been burned on that one a time or two.
Yeah. But since you brought that up, I'm going to look into seeing if there's a way we can distinguish between whether it was taken from a device or from the app. And then that way we can actually tell the director what it came from, so he'll know. She'll know.
Gotcha. All right.
Good stuff. Anything else from the crowd out there that you have questions for Dwayne? I think I missed one.
Trying to read through the comments here.
Oh, Luke Arian asked, what about a TD version of the app? Basically, Tourneyx judging app versus it all in one, or making the app more tournament director friendly.
I don't think it's ever going to happen. I just don't think we're going to go that route. This has been my thought from day one. The app is a tool for the anglers. The app is not a tool for the directors. It's their app. It's not the director's app, and that's the way it should be. I don't want it crowded. I don't want it to be cumbersome to use. I don't want to add too much stuff into it. I fish just like you guys do. I want to be able to open the app up, press a button, take my pictures. You know what I'm saying? Just make it real easy. I don't want to have to add a bunch of stuff to it. Now, I don't think we'll ever go there if we just don't.
I would think most directors want to judge on a computer anyway,
right?
For the bigger screen and whatever, and all the tools that you offer.
I don't think there's a return on investment. I hate to say it. I mean, I don't want to sound like that, but as an angler, I would rather just have the app, like your rod and reel, just like your boat, just like kayak. It's a tool. It's what it is. And the judge needs to have his tool, which is a computer. Now he can use an iPad or whatever if he wants something a little smaller. Just go to the website and go through that route. But I don't think we'll ever have a director side app.
Scott Stuhlman said an API would allow pulling tournament info for AOI. I don't know what that means, Scott.
I do.
I'm assuming, does that mean he's trying to, that we could, from an outside website, pull that data, or that's something you could do?
What we could do is compile it and allow him to reach over and pull. And I would just give out an API, and then you could embed that on your websites based on tournament ID. So, like, for instance, whatever your tournament ID is, we can say tournament ID, blah, 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 and just give it an API that reaches out, grabs that, pulls it to your website, and you can post it on your website. So we could have it in two places.
Okay.
So, I mean, I could foresee us doing that if we just could come to an agreement of one AOI setup.
You could just offer the Tourneyx AOI, the simple 200 point, 199, 198, and on down, and say if you want to use it, you can use it.
Possibility.
Turn it on and off.
200 or 250 points. That way you're covered your bases and roll with it.
There's not too many that are going to go past that as far as entries.
You would have to figure out how to drop an event, or would you even drop an event? I don't know. So it's according to how many you fish. That's where it gets into that, Yeah. So
I feel you. So much you can do with it. I tell you this, man. It's so people act like certain organizations like KBF or whoever it is were the catalyst to blow this sport up like this. But the fact of the matter is, Tourneyx, we're going to have Michael on here in a little bit, Iangler, you guys are really what gave us the baseline to blow the sport up. Because if we were still using SD cards and doing that nonsense, we'd still probably be paddling. I don't know.
I'm going to go back because I probably
Buddy, it used to be a mess with them SD cards, I go and tell you.
Yeah.
Dang.
I just threw a bag of SD cards over there a while ago. So, I want to say something about Michael before he comes on. But listen, stand-up guy. I respect him 100%. He was the first that I know of that had an app. I think he was out before we were, and kudos to what he's done, and he's just a genuine guy. I call him up probably twice a month. We'll visit. His dad actually lives right here in Madison, in town with where I live, and so we're either messaging one another or we call up just to say hey, just to visit. And like I said, he's just a great guy. And
he's good people, man. I've known him probably about as long as I've known you, Dwayne. From back in the day, going down to Lake Fork and stuff. And I know their app kind of started as a fisheries biologist project, not really a tournament app, and turned into that over the years. So
I think he's still doing that. I think he's still, So, but anyway, by the way, the Iowa, you were talking about apps a minute ago. So you were talking about the iOS side. I heard you say something about you don't know that side. We actually submitted for this upgrade last night, and it was approved this morning in 4 hours. I could not believe it. I've never had one approved that fast.
So Jeff needs to put some more money on it, is what you're saying.
Well, the iOS is not it's not submitted to them yet on the KFN app. It's in Google, but they need all these different numbers that Ryan thinks they're trying to steal my identity.
Guaranteed.
But anyway,
really?
once I get all the correct filing numbers that they're requesting, then I'll be good to go over there on that.
I gotcha. Yeah. But yeah, we pushed the iOS last night around midnight, and this morning I woke up and when I got to work, I got an email saying it was under review, and it was then like 30 minutes later it said ready to be launched, pretty much. So I can go in right now and click it, and everybody can start downloading. But what we were thinking about doing was waiting until the Android's ready, because it's been pushed too. So hopefully maybe it'll do them at the same time. Now, just so everybody knows, we did change the versions of the Android app to match the iPhone app. So when you open up an app and somebody says, hey, you should be on 1.7, everybody should be on 1.7. So, because I got tired of going, oh, you're on 1.0.4 and you're on 1.7.394, you know what I'm saying? So I told my programmer, I said, look, match them so that I can just say you're on 1.7, 1.8, or whatever it is. So
that's legit.
I like it.
You see what Joey threw in there, Ryan? He said, thanks for having you on. Thanks for having you on this week.
No, that's sweet. I said, don't tell your hedgehog ass buddy. I don't know if y'all saw Vinny's picture today of his hair and beard spiked and dyed, but it's a sight to behold. Vinny will do anything for the kids.
I tell you what, Bob Baylor knows what Apple's up to. See that? Steve Jobs is trying to come back as me.
Listen, I'll go ahead and put this out here right now. If Steve Jobs takes Jeff's body, I'm not doing this podcast anymore. I'm out. We'll go start from scratch somewhere else.
What if he just takes my identity and my meager salary?
Then I hope he takes Ashley K's hairspray bills over at the salon with it.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm watching a movie right now where one dude dies and his body jumps over, and they took his body, moved him to a new, younger guy. So it's kind of weird how you say that. I'm like, holy crap, I'm watching the same.
Can we do that yet? That's the metaverse. That's what's going to happen in the metaverse later.
Michael's officially in the green room. I texted him earlier and I said, are you in? He said, I can see myself. And then he just messaged me again and said, now I'm in. I had to scroll down and click enter green room.
Yeah, there he is. I see him in there.
We're in here.
All right, we'll get him in here in just a second. But yeah, Dwayne, you want to stick around for a minute, or you want to slide out?
Man, if you don't mind, I'd like to stick around and say hey, and then I may just bow out real peacefully and catch up with you guys later.
Bow out peacefully. All right. Hang on just a second.
But listen, thank y'all for having me on tonight. I really do appreciate it. Appreciate all the support you guys give us. Man. Both Michael and myself, and we want to continue to support. How, what, when, where, and all those things. So,
all right, here we go.
Appreciate it.
Boom! There he is,
Michael Christopher. There he goes.
Hear me?
Yes,
yes, sir.
We can hear you. Wow. We can see you.
This technology is challenging.
I know.
Your office looks like an actual office. I don't think you belong here, pal.
Well, I started to wear my ball cap just so I'd fit in a little bit.
So you'd fit in with the regular folks out here?
Unless you're sipping Western Sun.
Oh, man.
No, that'd be dangerous if I did that while out.
You got a lot of books up there, pal. I'm not trying to judge you or anything, but
Well,
you look
I
too
wish I
smart
read
for this
half of
neighborhood.
them, but
They look good up there, though. That's the main thing.
That's right. I have a Elvis Barbie over here over my right shoulder. I don't know what that says about me or my location, but it's there.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Hey, that's original packaging, son. That ain't nothing but money sitting over there.
Whose room are you in?
The guest room,
The guest room.
as they say. Yeah.
Hey, me too.
Michael, tell us what you got. Number one, tell us how it's been going. As Dwayne said, you were kind of on the forefront of this whole digital tourney management thing. I remember fishing the Kayak Bass Series stuff down in Astor, Florida. We went down there and froze our asters off using your app. It was like 36 degrees down there for the first KBS event, man. That was my first experience with your app.
That was way back when, and definitely I'd like to comment on what Dwayne said earlier. It's good to be in business and compete with a good guy. It makes all the difference in the world, and that's.
I pick the phone up and call him when I have a question. I pick up the phone and call him when I have a question, and we've had these conversations before, and when you can do that and maintain a good friendship, it means a lot, and I really
it's funny.
respect that.
Half the time when we talk, we're not even talking about fishing or programming.
No, we're not.
Been, we've both had and are having our own challenges with having elderly parents and working through that. So we've actually spent a lot of time talking about that, and then just growing up in small towns in the South, and that's
Absolutely.
And fussing about PayPal, that's the other part.
Oh boy!
Now that I'm getting in the app game, I'm realizing you can actually get less fees sometimes using the in-app purchases. Have you guys ever thought going that way?
It's 30%.
30%.
Well,
yeah, we've stayed as far away from that as we could.
Okay.
Well, Jeff's about to go rebuild
You
his
just
app
gotta
now.
know how to do it.
No. I'm saying I saw that there's an option for 15% in-app purchases now with Google. I don't know about Apple, but
Yeah, Apple starts at 30 until you get so far, and then it drops to 15.
I see. Okay, I digress. Go ahead.
And 30% is a lot. I'm telling you.
Not graded percents, but that seems like a healthy percent.
Yeah,
It's a lot of percent.
For Apple, it's great. No, we started a long time ago. We've probably been doing this for about 7-8 years now. Started back. We have a sister company that does consulting and application development for. We sort of fell into a niche doing applications for marine research and data collection. We actually developed and host the Red Snapper system for the state of Mississippi, and a couple of other systems in Florida. And we're actually talking to a marine biologist from Florida Wildlife Commission, and she said they'd never been able to get data from fishing tournaments. And we said, well, that's all you guys do in Florida is fish, so I don't understand that. So we put a group together and actually started developing an app. We actually had our first tournament down in the Keys. It was a tarpon tournament, and then connected with the Kayak Bass Series guys, Terry and Robert Field, and sat in Terry's living room.
I miss those guys. I miss both of them, man. They used to be in the mix.
Yeah, we were submitting pictures of dogs and cats and all that stuff to test it out. So,
I bet Robert had a pile of cats to submit.
I was thinking about Terry Manley the other day. I wonder where he's at. I hadn't seen him much, so hope he's doing well.
Garage full of adjust-a-butts, chilling somewhere.
Don't even. I still got 2 adjust-a-butts in my garage.
I got one out there.
I do too. Good times.
They're here.
So from there, it just sort of expanded, and so we've been sort of going across different types of fishing. We've been working with actually with CCA Florida for the last this will be coming on 7 years for their Star Tournament, which is their big tournament. They actually use a custom version of the app for their Star Tournament.
Cool.
Let's see here.
So everything for that tournament's photo submission. You can keep it if you want it, and then they've got the tag redfish that they released that you can win the big prizes with.
Mm-hmm.
Have you contacted Louisiana yet? Or are you working with them, Michael?
We are actually working with Louisiana right now. Not on Star. We're actually doing some social media marketing with the consulting side.
Yeah, I was gonna say them boys don't even have smartphones down there. You couldn't get nothing done with them.
We're working with them, raffling off a F-150 King Ranch. Actually, today was the last day you could buy a raffle ticket for that.
Nah, we brought till midnight. Do people have till midnight to go buy that raffle ticket?
Unfortunately, it cut off at 4.
Oh man, Michael, we had you on too late.
So,
Well, Iangler's been around a long time, and I know you've tweaked it a little bit over the years, but there's rumors floating around that you're making some big changes to the tournament app coming soon. So is there any truth to that? What do you have coming down the pipe?
we are actually rewriting it, and should have it ready. Actually, we should start testing by the hopefully end of this month. The end of this month. Should start testing it. We are actually going to be native on both platforms, so we can actually the app will be faster, and then we can take advantage of the different platform functions a lot faster than having to wait on the other platforms, the HTML5 platforms, to do that. So that's one of the things we wanted to do. And in the process, we're going to streamline the app and more for the tournament directors to be able to actually take a lot of options off the screen. So you won't see as many options on the screen. I'm sure Dwayne agrees. The biggest thing that we're chasing is to make as few entries as possible, as quickly as possible.
Right.
And so that's one of the things, is to make the screen less cluttered. And if you want to use those functions, we'll put them on. If you don't, we'll take them off so they're not there at all.
Gotcha. Michael, if you're going to drop anything that's just game changing, just do this, and we'll drop Dwayne off the feed real quick. All right? We don't.
Okay, I'm still drinking.
I don't want to see his notepad. I already gave him the next step in the app earlier today. I'm gonna wait on that 99.
He's so much further ahead of me, so we're good, man.
Well, I had his piece up on the laptop a little while ago. I was making notes while he was talking. So.
Oh, there it is.
Oh boy.
Here, I'll just send you this.
Send you the whole cheat sheet.
But it's funny. You end up going back and forth and leapfrogging each other and all. And you sit there and say, you look at something and you hear Dwayne say something. You think, dang, I wish I'd thought of that.
I understand.
And so it's just.
But there's still a lot of things to think about. You know what I'm saying? I mean, no matter what we do with them, there's still people out there that go, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? Can you do this? And you're like, dang, I never thought of that. And then, then you just got to figure out how to make it happen. And if it's worth making it happen, that's the key is, how many people will actually use that feature, So.
And that's exactly right. And there's some things where you might ask, someone might ask, can you do that? You say no this year, and by this time next year, you can't.
Yeah.
So as fast as technology is going, particularly in the smartphone area, it's a lot of these things are possible now that weren't possible before.
The privacy.
Can either one of you go ahead? Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say the privacy thing that they're getting into now is starting to cut in on what the app does. I mean, you were talking about the location services and what have you, and they come out with these new privacy things that, and it's really putting a damper on what we're trying to do here. I mean, we're not like we're trying to, tell the U.S. government, what I'm saying? We're not getting into that kind of thing. We're just taking pictures, right? We just want to know if it's legit. But yet you got to jump through hoops to make this stuff happen. So.
Is there something you could put in there like, I agree, I accept, blah, 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 access to my GPS data
You have
on
to
the
put a lot
photos
of it in.
submitted?
You
What's
have to
that?
put a lot of it in there.
I got you.
You could put it in, but you end up asking a lot of questions on the front end when the app opens or when the app's installed. And if someone misses a step, it creates a problem down the line when they try to submit and can't. So
Gotcha.
it becomes challenging.
That's why I was referring to earlier, Ryan, about if you use the app's functionalities, then you don't have to worry about those questions because you do ask the questions, but it's pertaining to your app, not to the native devices, like the camera and the camera roll and all that stuff. So our app can't reach over and tell the device what to do. It can't. I'm not sure if with the native if it can do that or not, Mike.
You can some. You can
Yeah,
some, but just trying to manage it, and then that's where Apple and Google get into. Okay, you're trying to get into a privacy situation.
And then when you go to submit it for review, they shoot it down, and you got to go back and redo it and take it out, or then it ends up costing you more time. So,
right,
is it really worth it at that point? I could see Jeff's mind about going, "Oh shit, what'd I get into?"
No. I'm over here logging into my Iangler account, man. I haven't used it in so long. I'm logging into my Iangler account to look at.
Upgrade. You probably need to download the link.
I'm on the actual website. Is the website going to get overhauled too, or is it just the apps?
It will get overhauled eventually, but we're doing the apps first.
Okay.
We're doing
not that matters. We're using the apps for the tournaments anyway.
Yeah, there's actually, and like Dwayne, if you're a tournament director, you have to use the website.
I think you should be using the website. Like I think
doing that.
if you're not using the website as a tournament director, I don't feel like you're not judging your fish properly. You can't see those details and nuances.
Look at this. I'm going back in history. I'm going back in my history.
Goodness.
Oh, there's some.
Where are you at?
Yeah.
Antique
2014.
Yeah, 2014. I've been doing this.
Throwback. Throwback Thursday.
Beaver's Bend.
There's so much information on the judging screens that it's really hard to actually see it on the phone and be able to manipulate it. You still got to expand the picture, do all those things, scroll the
Angler Combat.
That's dope.
Hey, you remember that?
Ooh, yeah, I do. Oh my goodness!
Back in the day.
Look at that. KBS.
Your age,
man, it's like a time machine here.
Kids, you don't know what you're missing. You don't know how many speed bumps we had to run over to get us here.
I'm still waiting for somebody to write a book. I'm ready for somebody to sit down and write a book about all this stuff.
Well, I don't want to go to jail, so I'm not going to do it. I'll leave that up to somebody more politically correct.
A documentary would be better.
Wait till I die. I'll write the script. You find somebody to play my part, but let me be in the grave before anybody does that one.
The lunch money documentary on Netflix will be good later on in life.
Yeah, it'll be tough.
there is one Easter egg on the website screen, and I don't know if you saw it. Up in the upper left corner, there's an additional logo.
The outdoor CCR.
Outdoor CCR, and that's
that. There it is, right there.
And that CCR is Competition, Conservation, and Research, and we've actually been doing a number of different things with the system, and we can actually support different types of tournaments. And we got to the point where we said, well, we're pointing people to do stuff on the fishing tournament app, and they're saying, why are we going to a fishing tournament app? We actually had a wild turkey hunting competition on the app last year, and so it will support hunting events now. So we're going to actually split that off into a separate app along with the what we call the trash tournaments and some of the conservation events. You like that, the trash tournament?
Yeah, no, I got some organizations I can suggest use your app.
I think we're talking about different kind of trash.
Sorry about that.
Ryan, I wonder if they could get with the West Virginia boys to run some hide and go peep tournaments or something over there.
Some peep up tournaments. Oh my gosh. All right. Anyway, I'm so sorry, Michael. I'm so sorry. Continue on. Trash tournaments. Here we go.
So we've actually been running competitions. But actually, you can have competitions where people actually register and have events just collecting trash, and we can count the bags of trash they submit, and they can offer prizes and all for that. And we don't charge for those types of tournaments. And then we've got some research events. Some groups still have tournaments. One was up in Maryland. They were tracking invasive species, snakeheads, and just if you caught one, log it. We want to know where it was.
Mm-hmm.
And so for those types of things, we had a couple of groups where they had we had one group that every year they have there's a lake, the little communities in one little community, and every year they have a free tournament open to everybody, and they ask people to go out fishing, log as many everything you catch, and there's a retired marine biologist there that just sort of goes through the data to look over just the health of the lake. So those types of events we're moving over into that app. They'll still show up on the website, but they'll have their own app to do that. So
Well,
that's hidden right now, but that'll be coming next year.
I like it.
I'm excited to see what you're going to do with the app rewrite, man. I know that you and Dwayne keep pushing each other. It sounds like you got a great relationship there. Let me ask you this, and you guys don't have to answer this,
Sure.
I guess. Are you guys a united front against the evil empire of fishing chaos, or you just kind of let that go?
No comment.
Wow.
You don't have to comment on that.
I'm sorry you're breaking up.
Okay. All right.
Oh boy.
I had to ask it. I just wanted to see Dwayne's face when I said it. But anyway, we can go on to the next thing.
Okay. No,
Well, did you get the reaction you wanted?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
One of the things we've added, and we haven't promoted it, but we're going to promote it a little heavier next year, is that you can now load up to 5 images for each catch. And we had a redfish tournament earlier in the year where they were required to load 4 photos of each catch. And so you can do that. We can make any number of those optional. The other thing is that we can now upload video.
Cool.
So
Oh.
So for those girth measurements we were talking about, you can upload.
You can take your phone all the way around the fish.
Okay.
Oh. So will that display side by side with your picture on the tournament app, or is it either or?
You can do a combination of both. You can require
Really?
a photo and a video, or we've actually had some where, and it's funny you were talking about the anglers doing additional things. We've had a number of tournaments where we've required the photo and said, while you're out there, why don't you take some video and just submit it during the tournament that we can use for social media.
Mm-hmm.
In all of those tournaments, the anglers were so intense that they never even bothered to take a single video. They were just
that's honestly, man, the video implementation in real tournaments to me is nuts. Like, that's going to take up, if you go in my phone right now, I'm serious, in my camera roll and scroll through, 90% of it is fish pictures on a measuring board. And if you start putting video into that, like, you're going to have like 1 terabyte cell phones to be able to handle, a year's worth of freaking fishing tournaments. That's crazy.
No, that it's the bandwidth upload. We're already fighting one image that's only like 200K, right, or 500K, whatever. But when you get into, a meg or 2 video, I don't know.
And we're just talking 15 to 30 seconds of video, but
Right.
we're running into some situations where they're wanting proof of the release to show the fish was healthy when it was released. We actually did one sailfish tournament where they wanted they couldn't bring them on board, so you had to spot the fish, be able to identify the fish, see the leader touch, and see the release.
Wow,
But surprisingly, you can get all that in 20 seconds. The one thing that surprised us was in that video, we also got audio. So That brought a whole new level of.
Well,
I'm
you don't want my
here,
audio.
I'm sitting here thinking of the Lunch Money brand because Ryan goes over to Instagram to make story updates during a tournament.
Listen,
And
player,
here, you
Well,
could just
there
do it
you
right
go.
here with
You
it.
can do it right here.
I'm trying to make my own money. I want people to follow me on the gram. I'm not just out here trying to put it out on a tourney app, all right? Come on. That's what you got to pay for, Jeb, that extra reach.
I'm just saying, you could throw a little extra juice, like Billy was saying. You could talk a little smack on video and put it in there.
I
with the
do.
fish pick. Say, take that, Dylan Lowry.
Oh,
And
man.
that's what we were hoping we would get, but no one that wants to take time.
Oh, I'm gonna find a tournament on your app just so I can do that. That'll be awesome.
Oh, don't try to talk trash to Dylan Lowry on day 2 because he won't be there. He'll be off the app by day 2. My boy will be gone.
No, I love it. That's cool.
Something we've copied over from the research side is that we've been doing some work with weather over in the consulting side, and we brought that over. So there's always been a weather tab in the tournaments. But we decided we got rid of the service we were using and wrote it ourselves. And one of the things that we're really proud of is that, and there's a real-time tab. When you bring up the weather for a tournament, there's a tab that says real-time, and it displays the tournament location. And within a 50-mile radius, it will actually show you all the NOAA weather stations, any NOAA buoys if you're down on the coast. And if you're inshore, it will show all of the U.S. Geological Service's lake and river gauges.
Wow.
And you can click on any of those and get the current conditions from that gauge.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that is
a
that's
cool
intuitive
addition
stuff.
for sure.
So
Do you have anything that you can integrate that will show where you can get fresh breakfast biscuits the morning of the tournament?
For Jay Wallen would like a gas station integration.
For AJ McWerthers, if you could give him a honey waffle Hardee's biscuit location around the tourney would be great.
Or chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Or chicken nuggets, yes. That's a fact.
No, I love what you're doing, Michael, with the weather integration and some of the other things. It's like you said, you guys are pushing each other. Cool stuff. I can't wait to see the rewrite.
Well, honestly, a feature I would like to see integrated is something to identify sandbaggers. Like if there is a way that you can flag a person, like we know they had service, we know they took this picture, and just put sandbagger in diagonal across all their submissions so everybody knows. And whether they're punished for it or not, it's up to the TD. But so everybody knows they could have submitted these fish and they're just sandbagging.
You already know who they are.
Right
I do know exactly. I know exactly who they are. Exactly who they are. I want some caution tape around them.
Yeah, Dwayne, you know how you have the badges on Tourneyx, Dwayne, with the you could have
Number
that.
one sandbagger. That's what we need.
Yeah, the bagger Vance.
Bagger. Trying to figure out how to make that happen for you there, Lunch Money.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Do it, please, please.
That'd be fun.
That'd be hilarious. Oh, John Allen's here for the last 5 minutes of the podcast. Thank you, John,
John,
for showing
what's
up,
man?
pal.
Biggest Michael Jordan fan on the planet Earth, John Allen.
He is. John Jordan, we call him around the house.
Yeah. Call him poor man's MJ. That's what we call him. Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yeah, your Texas guys keep us on our toes, Mr. Christopher. Those guys keep us on our toes down there.
It's amazing that you are so well-spoken and educated and live in the same state as these fools. I am highly impressed. Shocks me every day.
Yeah.
I've worked hard at it. There are two things that I can't get rid of, though.
What's that?
Y'all and fixing. I can't.
Okay.
Y'all and
No,
fixing.
you don't need to. You don't need to.
That's just fine. I've developed that. I'm not even from the South, and I say y'all and fixing all the time now. So. It's catchy.
Hey, Mike, I think I may ask you this. Are you from Texas? Were you born in Texas, or were you born over this way?
I am one of the few native Texans. I was
Okay.
actually born in East Texas
Okay.
and grew up down near Houston.
But now your mom, your dad's from here. They were from here, right? Or from Meridian? I mean, Vicksburg.
No, my
area?
wife's family is from Vicksburg. She's still
Vicksburg.
got family
Okay.
there. Yeah,
Okay.
and then my dad eventually moved to Madison. He
Okay.
taught at Jackson State.
Dwayne done
Oh.
turned this into Ancestry.com, Ryan. What
I'm
we doing?
sorry.
I know. He listen. Hey, when Dwayne sets out to dig up info on a man, he's gonna dig deep. Dwayne gonna have his social security number before we get off here.
No.
Need his Dunn's number as well.
Oh man.
I keep trying to tell him, holler when he gets over his way so we can go eat somewhere and go visit. We need to go to Mama Hamil's and eat one day.
Yeah.
Oh man, I eat too much when I go over there.
I'll tell you.
Yeah. Let's see. So before we get out of here, we've been on here quite a while. What are the main things we need to be looking for, Mike? When's that new app coming, and what's the biggest thing people are going to notice right away when they first download this new version?
The thing they'll notice right away, and it'll be ready end of January because we're planning. It looks like a lot of the tournaments are going to be kicking off in February, so we want to have it out there by the end of January just so you can play with it. Then it's going to look a lot smoother. And for the tournaments, you'll have fewer options that you'll actually see on there, even though there are different options available. So just a lot cleaner look for the app, and it'll run a lot faster.
Outstanding. The leaderboard's going to look different, all that kind of thing. Total rewrite, like you said.
The leaderboard will look the same. One thing that we made a change to the app, I guess, a little over a year ago, and we took the option off that lets you see the leaderboard on the actual website. Well, we didn't realize when we did that you could no longer see the ranking of the fish by size. So we're going to add back a length leaderboard so you can see what the big fish is up to, as long as the tournament director allows you to view the leaderboard.
And if I recall, if I recall correctly, you could see like the overall leaderboard. So let's say it's a multi-day tournament, and then you could click and it dropped down to day 1, day 2 under the same screen, right? Okay, cool. I like that.
Right. And then in the app, you could actually select day 1, day 2, or all. And it'll score it all together. And then we still got the multiple species and all. And those options will still be there.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it. Are you partnering up with any new trails or series this year, or is that kind of secret?
I won't say it's secret. We're still we're still working on that.
Dwayne, mute yourself. No, I'm just kidding.
Pull the chute.
No, right now the schedule's starting to fill up. It's stuff from mostly last year, and then we do a lot of stuff in Florida, inshore tournaments, and charity tournaments. So a lot of that's already lining up, and then we're waiting to hear on other things that we're working on. But one of our principles is we don't unhook. We don't unhook. If they're It's actually better for us if you're already on Tourneyx and you like it. That's where you need to be.
I like that.
Appreciate that, man.
That's good stuff.
Now the others, it's a toss-up, but no, I'm sorry.
Yeah, there we go. Stinger before we go. When we get we'll have those guys on here again sometime. We'll ask them the same question. So you better get your blows in now while you can.
No, man. Look,
I'm just kidding.
I keep saying it's like Walmart, Kmart. I mean, you just you pick your choice to shop. You know what I'm saying? You really do.
Yeah.
And
But Kmart went out of business, though, didn't it?
well, that's kind of why I do the that's why I do the Walmart Kmart.
Oh no!
There's a lot of truth in that.
Touche, Dwayne.
Oh my gosh!
Oh,
I get one every now and then, my friend.
Yeah, I didn't think I could get out of them, Ryan, but we got it. We got a zinger out of them.
Wow.
Hey, listen, Dwayne, you're just a messenger. I like it. That was for Mrs. Tourneyx. She threw that one.
Hey, I didn't
Dwayne
even
read
ask
it
you.
off the text.
Before we get out of here, how is Miss Walley? She doing
Miss
all right?
Wally's good, man. She's
Good.
I actually, just so y'all know, we fixing to step off the deep end. She's having a knee replacement January 14th, and we appreciate your thoughts and prayers for her. Something that she's had. She's dealt with this bad knee for, I don't know, probably 8 years now. The doctor kept saying, you're not old enough, you don't need, but it's got to the point where her thighs, is getting very small, and it's just, she's losing a lot of muscle. And so we pulled the trigger, and she's got some allergy issues. So we don't know how this knee's going to react with her body. We're hoping it works out great. But so January 14th, we're going in, having that done. I'll be right here, taking care of her. So we appreciate it. But other than that, we're doing good. Thank y'all for asking.
Yes, sir, man. She'll be back on her feet, kicking your butt in no time, man.
That's why that knee's wore out.
I'm ready to get her on a pedal drive, man.
Yeah. Anything else for these fellas, Ryan, before we wrap it up tonight?
I don't. Thank you both for not only what you've done for the sport, but thank you for taking time out of your night to come on here and give us an update on both of your apps.
We appreciate it so
My
much.
pleasure.
Yes, sir. Sure, we'll see you on the road sometime this year, both of you. And thanks, everybody, on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter for watching tonight. It was a big show, so appreciate everybody. See y'all next week.
Definitely.
Y'all take care.
Guys, take care.
Good to see you.